Day 33. 33 is a very mystical and magical and metaphysical number. So I figure I'll start by doing a metaphysical lesson today. Story time. Okay, here's my story for today. There was a farming community in the Midwest and they were suffering a drought. So a drought that was so severe that they could lose all of their possessions. If the crops die and they don't get to take the crops to market, chances are they're going to lose everything. So they decided to call a town hall meeting and figure out what they could do about this drought. So the mayor showed up and of course the minister showed up and they said, well listen, we don't know what to do. And they asked the minister, could you pray to God for us and ask God to make it rain? So the minister said, well listen, if I pray to God, do you believe that God will make it rain? They said, oh yes minister, we do. He said, well okay, listen, guys, gather together and come to church on Sunday and we will pray to God and He'll make it rain. They said fine. So everyone left, they went home. Sunday church was packed. No room in the church, packed to outside, overflowing, standing room only. So the minister got in the pulpit and he said, if I pray to God and ask God to make it rain, do you believe that God will make it rain? They said, oh yes minister, we believe. He said, y'all don't hear me. I guess this was a Pentecostal minister. He said, y'all don't hear me. If I pray to God and ask God to make it rain, do you believe that God will make it rain? They said, minister, we believe, we believe, we believe. He said, y'all don't hear me. I'm going to ask you one more time. If I pray to God and ask God to make it rain, do you believe that the good Lord will make it rain? They said, oh minister, we believe, we believe, we believe. He said, that's odd. Because I'm looking out into the audience, into the congregation, and I don't see any umbrellas. That is my point. Preparation is the highest form of faith. We prepare for what we expect. Let me break this down to you. Preparation is the highest form of faith. Now, Usain Bolt, fastest man in the world from my little island of Jamaica. Usain Bolt trained for 4 years, 4 hours per day for 4 years, every single day, to run a race that would take less than 10 seconds to win. If you do the math, that's almost 6,000 hours this brother trained for a race that was going to take less than 10 seconds to win. He's preparing for his greatness. Usain Bolt is so fast that he was in his hotel room one night, got up to turn off the lights, and was back in bed before the room got dark. He prepared for his greatness. Jesus, the Christ, prepared for 30 years for a ministry that would take him less than 3 years, or just about 3 years to complete, when he was 33. Another mystical, magical number. Trained for 30 years, prepared for 30 years for something that would take 3 years to complete. Usher. You got it bad, Usher? Usher, I recall reading that Usher rehearsed for 22 hours per day, 7 days a week. His mom came home and found him collapsed on the floor, passed out, because he hasn't eaten and been dancing so hard. Because he was preparing for a performance at the music award that they gave him 3 minutes on stage. But he was preparing 22 hours per day. So my question to you is, what have you been preparing for? I know people that I personally know, on Wednesday, they start preparing for a party that they're attending on Saturday. So they're preparing for these things to manifest, but they never look at the greater good in their life and prepare, how am I going to make this thing manifest? They never look at their future. They never look at where they want to be. They look at the trivial stuff. They major in minor things. And then they confuse bad management with destiny. So always take a look at what you're prepared for. When I bought my first car, 1987 Nissan Pulsar, I went to the showroom and saw the car, loved the car, couldn't afford the car. Was overcoming the financial challenges, I like to say. But what did I do? I asked the salesman. When the salesperson told me how much the car was, I felt like Sanford and Son, like, oh, Elizabeth, it's the big one. I couldn't believe the price. I couldn't afford that. So I went and I asked him, well, how much are the mats? He said $75. Great, let me get those. And I bought the mats. Went home with the mats for the car because I'm preparing for this car. So I'm going to need mats when I get the car. Then I went out and I bought the tint. I need to tint my windows. And I started preparing. I bought the frame for the license plates. And within 6 months of just preparing for the car, bam, manifested the car. What are you preparing for? Are you preparing for your greatness? Are you preparing for where you want to be in the future? Because we tend to focus, let me break this down. We prepare for what we expect. If we're not expecting it, we won't prepare for it. We prepare for what we expect. And God meets us at our level of expectation. We prepare for what we expect. God meets us at our level of expectation. That's why the scripture says, according to your faith, be it unto you. According to your preparation, according to your expectation, be it unto you. We never prepare for things that we don't expect. So if you want to create some sort of stability in your relationship, if you want to create better health, if you want to create better finances, start preparing for it. Start doing something to move you in that direction. Start putting more attention on it. These books, that was just me 20 years ago preparing for the future. I remember I came to America at age 15. And when I heard Les Brown speaking, I was only 15 at the time. I had a deep Jamaican accent. I knew that I wanted to be a speaker. And I knew chances are if I'm going to be speaking, I'm going to be speaking in America. So I need to start preparing my speech. So I started working on the accent. What's up? What is up? What's up, man? What's up? Yo, what's up? What's up, man? Yo, what's up? Change the accent. So now I could start speaking. I kept preparing for what I wanted. The scripture says, where there's no vision, the people perish. And lack of preparation is always indicative of lack of vision. So pay attention now to what you're preparing for. It is better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. If you want to step into your greatness, if you want to step out of these financial challenges that you're facing, the challenges you're facing in your relationship, in your health, start studying, start preparing, start moving in that direction. Start preparing for the things that you want because you expect to get it. And like I said, the universe, source, God, whatever you choose to call this energy, it meets you at your level of expectation. So if you want greatness, prepare for greatness. We'll talk more tomorrow.